Alright, hello and good morning everybody. As a reminder, my name is Kalli, and if you haven't seen this week's flyer yet, our theme is ocean/under the sea. So in honor of that, I will be showing you guys some designs and some little animals to paint on rocks today. So obviously with this, there's only a few things that you're going to need. You will need rocks. I just went outside and found a couple. I grabbed two, but they can really be any size or shape that you'd like. Obviously, because we are painting, you will need some paints. So I'm just using these paints here. And then you will need some paintbrushes. In the flyer, I also put that if you have some hot soapy water and some towels, you might want that as well if your rocks are a little dirty. Mine aren't that bad, but I might go over them just once so I can kind of show you guys how you would do that. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump in. As for the two designs I'm going to show you for this kind of longer rock, I don't know if you can see here, I think we're going to do kind of a wave pattern for the ocean. And then for this more circular rock, we have a lot more space, so I think I might do an animal. We could do a whale or an octopus or a crab or anything. We will figure that out as we go. But I will start out by kind of washing these rocks just to show you. So as I said, I don't want to pour it out, but I have some hot soapy water here. Not really hot, I guess, more like warm. So I'm just going to dip it in there, and then I'm just going to kind of clean off the surface of the rock. As I said before, these really aren't bad, but it does help the paint go on if they're not super dirty. Obviously you can see on here that did take some off, but so all I did was wipe it down, and then I'm just going to dry it off. So I just put it in this paper towel to dry off, and that actually dried it pretty well. This rock really isn't that dirty at all, so I'm just gonna leave that one sit there. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by painting the base colors of these, and then we can let them dry. So for the animal one, I think we're going to do a lighter color blue, and as for the wave, we're going to start out with a darker blue base. So I'm just going to grab some different blue colors. So here's a darker one, a lighter one, and I'm going to grab a more turquoise color as well. So we can just jump right in, and I didn't mention this, but I also have a piece of paper down underneath my rocks just so I don't get anything on my surface. So you can see that there, I just have a piece of paper down, so then when I'm painting and stuff, I don't get anything where I don't want it. So you want to place your rocks how you would like them to sit. So for the wave, I'm going to do this darker turquoise color. I'm just going to start out by putting a dot directly onto the rock, as it makes it a little bit easier not going back and forth. And then I'm going to take this kind of larger brush. I'm just going to move the paint all around and have kind of an even surface. Obviously, I'm just doing the front, I guess, or top of the rock. But if you guys want to paint the entire rock, basically you're just going to follow this step. You just want to wait for each section to kind of dry in between so you don't get paint everywhere. Alright, I need a little bit more, but I don't want to put too much on the rock. So I'm just going to take my paint and kind of put a dot directly on there. I'll pick this up so I can show you. Alright, so this is how much I have done. Just have a little bit more to go. Alright, so the rock is fully covered on the top portion, so I'm just going to set that one down to kind of dry quickly. Alright, and then we're just going to move on to the second rock. So just to kind of save time, I'm just going to not reuse brushes. I'm just going to throw these into the hot soapy water. I'm going to grab another large brush, and then we will move on to this one. So for this, I said I wanted to do a lighter blue, and I don't really have a lighter blue. I'd say this one's probably my lightest, so I'm just going to kind of mix this with a white. So I'm gonna place some blue down. I'll show you guys. And then I'm gonna take my white and just add a dot or two of white to it. So we have our blue and our white, and I'm just going to mix this together on this paper towel. But any surface really works for this. I just didn't plan on mixing colors, so I didn't have anything available. Something that would work good for this is if you had a paper plate. Alright, so it made this really pretty blue color. So now I'm going to find the side that I want to design on, which is this one. And I'm just going to all over paint. So I want to make sure I'm covering the entire surface, but I also don't want to make it too thick, as I want this to dry semi-fast, as I am showing you guys some designs. Some may take an extra coat or two, or something I would recommend is if you're planning on doing this like before, or if you have the extra time, if you paint your entire rock a white base and then go back once it's dry with your blue or whatever color you're doing for your base, it really makes it pop, and it really makes it a lot easier to work with. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'll try to show you once this is dry, but I mean, it's definitely blue, but you can kind of see like the dirt and stuff underneath it, or like that rock texture color. I personally kind of think it's cool because you can see that texture, and I like that, but obviously that's personal preference. If you don't like that, it would be much easier to just go back and not use that. But alright, so this guy's still a little bit wet. I'm gonna see. Alright, so it's not that wet, so I think I'm just going to jump right in and start my design on this rock. So, for this one, as I said, we will be doing a like sea animal. So I think for this we will do we can do a crab. So for a crab, you're going to need red, as well as you'll need white and black. So for the red, this is going to make the kind of base of the body. So I'm going to take my paintbrush here. I'm going to take a little bit smaller of one, but still one that will cover enough surface. And then I'm just going to use this paper towel again to place my paint on, just to make it a little bit easier as I have to go back and forth. Alright, so to start out for the crab, you want to start out by making an oval shape, a pretty large oval shape in the center of the rock. So I'm going to do that, and then once I have that shape complete, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. And just as I said for the base color, to cover paint easier, you might need to do some extra coats. So like for me, going over this blue color, kind of turquoise color with the red is a little bit challenging. It doesn't want to cover that much. I'm doing my best to try to cover that all up. Alright, so this is what the body of the crab looks like now. And now we are going to add the other extremities. So we will add the eyes, the claws, and the legs. So for the eyes, all you want to do is do 2 lines straight up with circles on top. So I think I'm going to actually use a smaller brush for this, just to make it a little bit easier. So again, for the eyes, we're gonna do 2 lines straight up from the top of the crab's body. And then 2 circles on top of those. So I'm gonna finish that first, and then I will show you guys what that looks like. And then as for the other extremities, for the arms, you just kind of want to do the same. You want to do 2 lines and then a U shape on the top. to kind of make the claws. You want to make those coming out of more the top of the body at an angle. And then for the legs, you just want to do 3 lines coming out of the bottom on each side. Alright, so now I have this red body base down, and I'll show you guys that. Alright, so there you go. So we have a big oval body, we have the eyes coming out of the top, the claws, and then the legs down at the bottom. And I'm going to wait for it to dry a little bit, but then you can go back and add in some eyes with the white or mouth with the black. I'm just going to wait to do that. And then now we're going to move on to the wave. So for that, I'm going to put some dark blue on this, and we'll just make kind of a wave shape. So as it's kind of hard to explain, it's kind of similar to a triangle, but I'm just going to make that shape for you guys, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. Alright, so I will show you that. So it just is kind of that triangle shape for the wave. And then I'm just going to go back in with the blue and kind of fix up those lines. Alright, and then you can really add any designs you want to this. Because this is a small brush, I'm going to clean this one quick. So some design examples you can do. One that I'm going to show is you can just kind of add some white dots and stuff around it, or some lines or anything. But as for the white dots, I'm just going to take the back of my brush, and then I'm going to dot all the way around my wave. But it just adds this really cool and unique design. And I'm not doing all my dots the same size. Obviously when you run down of paint, the circles begin to get more small, but I'm not too worried about that. I just like the look of it. So here is that design. And then as for the crab, it has dried a little bit, so I'm just gonna go back with this same bottom of my tool and I'm gonna dot whites over the eyes. Because you definitely want your crab to have eyes. And then lastly, what we'll do is we'll go back and give some detail to the crab. So the last thing that you want to add to your crab is a mouth and then some detail to the eyes. So I'm just gonna add a little smile for my mouth. If you have them at home, paint markers work really well for this. And then I'm just adding that black dot. And for the mouth, I just did a very basic shape for the mouth. I just did a U shape. So I'll show you that. So little crab is all done. And then I think we could add some more to this wave. We could add another line of dots. I'll do that with the black here. We'll just go in right above the other dots. And if they run together, that's all right. But for now, both of these rocks are done. So here again is our little wave rock. And here is our little crab rock. But so I will be posting pictures of my final product in the comments below, as well as a flyer for a reminder of what all you need for this project. But I had so much fun doing it, and I will see you guys with a craft later this week. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.